Hello and welcome to HBM's Crypto Corner for Wednesday, October 23rd, 2024. We have a few things to talk about, so let's get started. First of all, and I may as well get this out of the way, in the Are They Ribbing Us with This department, apparently Rocky Mountain Sasquatch has taken a look at the Oklahoma Bigfoot video, which has long since been debunked. It was a promotion for a head shop in Lawton, Oklahoma, but I guess Kelly Shaw didn't get the message, or he chose not to look into it and has decided to go for clickbait. But then again, that's what Kelly Shaw and Rocky Mountain Sasquatch does these days. They clickbait. Well, let's check it out. And I'm, of course, going to stop it when I feel like I need to.
This was posted by eman580 on TikTok on October 1st, stating, "Scariest moment of my life. And I really think I caught Bigfoot on camera in the forest. I was just doing some sightseeing, enjoying the day, and saw something in the distance. I'm still shaking as I type this. I've enlarged the original video by 400%, and I've slowed it down to half speed and running it back and forth for you all so that you can get a better look. What do you think? Jack Link style costume or the real thing?" There have been many Bigfoot sightings in Oklahoma and a few photos or videos of the creature, like this game cam footage of it running through the frame of the camera. Lonnie posted a compelling trail camera photo to an RMS-owned media site. Watch this video to the end. We will show you the Bigfoot photo and give a size comparison. I would like to show you what I'd like to explain how the trigger of the trail camera works.
Notice that they didn't stay on the Oklahoma Bigfoot video for very long. I guess that even Kelly Shaw figured out, oh wait, no, this isn't the real Bigfoot. They didn't stay very long on that Oklahoma Bigfoot, did they? Nope. I think even Kelly Shaw, as much of a pineapple as he is, decided that, oh wait, no, this is a hoax. It's actually not a hoax, it's a promotion for a head shop in Lawton, Oklahoma. So maybe but I did notice that a few of the comments did say no, it's a costume. It's the guy in the costume. To be fair, I did note that. So at least some of his audience believes that it's a guy in a costume. So maybe there's a little bit of hope there. Who knows? Coming off from what could be potentially negative news with Rocky Mountain Sasquatch, this is a pretty cool little video. Bigfoot recreating Bluff Creek. And this is by a poster named Lazy Cowboy. And it's quite well done. It's a 3D model of Bluff Creek circa 1967. But what he did was he took a photograph which was taken in 1971 by the late Rene DeHinden and somewhat overlaid that onto his 3D model. And the results are quite stunning. And he really did a great job with this video. Regardless of whether you think the PG film is real or it's a hoax, it's actually a very well done video. Let's see here. He even utilized the Bluff Creek project as far as their research as well on the Bluff Creek area. He also utilized the shadows and the time of day. I guess he realized it was taken around, well, I think he said 3 o'clock in the afternoon. Now, is that 3 o'clock Eastern or 3 o'clock Central? But check this out.
The sandbar itself is made up of fine alluvial sand and gravel. No rocks or treacherous obstacles exist. That's the path as seen through Roger's camera. How about we take a look at Patty's route across the sandbar through her eyes?
Isn't that cool? I think that's very cool. I think Lazy Cowboy did a heck of a job with that. He really did a great job, I thought. Amazing stuff. And he utilized actual research to do his video, to make this video. I commend Lazy Cowboy for his job on this. Great, great stuff here. I'm going to include the link to this video below. Let you guys check it out. Speaking of great videos, Bigfoot in film, the Patterson-Gimlin influence on exists. This was a video that I watched just last night about the movie Exists. Exploring Exists, from Blair Witch to Bigfoot, because Exists was made by Eduardo Sanchez, who came up with the Blair Witch Project. Of course, Exists a found footage Bigfoot movie, much like Blair Witch Project was found footage as well. Have you heard about the fascinating journey of Eduardo Sanchez, co-director of the groundbreaking film The Blair Witch Project, and his long-standing dream of creating a Bigfoot-focused project? Recently, I came across a video from the YouTube channel Good Bad Flicks that delves into the evolution of Sanchez's vision, from his childhood fascination with Bigfoot to the eventual release of his 2014 film Exists. As a Bigfoot enthusiast, I was thrilled to learn about the influence of the 1972 film The Legend of Boggy Creek on Sanchez's perspective of the elusive creature. The mockumentary-style movie left a significant impact on him, shaping his desire to create a more authentic and engaging Bigfoot narrative. Now, initially, Sanchez did plan to make a found footage film about Bigfoot with his Blair Witch collaborator Daniel Myrick, but they later decided to switch gears and create the now iconic Blair Witch Project instead. And after the success of Blair Witch, both directors ventured into different genres, but Sanchez never lost his passion for bringing a unique Bigfoot story to life. And if you've seen Exists, it's an amazing movie. It's my favorite of the modern Bigfoot movies. It really is. It's terrific. It's great. I think it's well done. It's well shot. The suit they use in the movie is top notch. Amazing suit. And if you've seen the movie, a bit of a spoiler alert, there is a scene near the end where we see the creature with a huge gunshot wound on its shoulder. and the special effects people behind it, which was Spectral Motion, they really went all out with the gunshot wound. They made it look like this thing had actually been shot, or that the actor in the suit had actually been shot. Amazing, amazing special effects. It's too bad that the movie didn't get more of a general wide release. That's how good it was. It had a limited theatrical release, but then it was released to DVD in 2014. But it deserved a much better fate than what it got. But it's become a cult classic in the realm of Bigfoot movies. It's a great video. It really is a tremendous exploring of the movie and giving a little bit of background on Sanchez and his Blair Witch Project movie as well. So I'm going to include the link to this below. So I recommend everybody check it out. Speaking of something that I also recommend everybody check out, and that's Patterson Gimlin film, Bigfoot Evidence at 57, New Insights. And this is from Steve Coles and Chris Bennett. They almost got his last name spelled correctly. They almost got his last name right. It's Kulls. Not Coles like the store. The Patterson Gimlin film, a landmark piece of footage in the Bigfoot community, turns 57 this year, and the YouTube channel The Bigfoot Mystery, Squatch DTV, takes a closer look at the film and the weather data from the time it was taken. The video starts off with the hosts Steve Coles and Chris Bennett discussing the film and its significance. Steve mentions that the high temperature on that day the film was taken was 55 degrees and the low was 46 degrees, consistent with the weather seen in the film. The sunrise was at 7:34 and sunset was at 6:29, with civil twilight beginning 22 minutes before sunrise and lasting until almost 7 o'clock. The moon was a waning gibbous. The video then shows the actual weather data from the area at the time the film was taken. The hosts also mentioned that the film was taken prior to the actual filming of the creature and serves as B-roll footage. I think they mean to say that there was film taken. There's some film that was shown of Patterson and Gimlin riding through the forest. And Steve said it was taken in August, but my only thing is there were fall colors. There were late fall colors in the footage. So it couldn't have been taken in August. Much like the footage itself of Patty has late fall colors. So it couldn't have been taken in August. And then, of course, you have the conspiracy theorists who claim that the footage was taken in the summer because of supposedly because of the shadows. It's been claimed that the shadows tell a different story from what the film shows. But I have a question. Wouldn't the sun sitting directly overhead make weird shadows and make the shadows the way that Patty looked? I don't buy all these conspiracy theories about the film having supposedly been taken in the summer. Of course, the main architect of that particular theory, of that particular controversy, is none other than M.K. Davis. And we know we can't rely on his word for anything. But anyway, I will include the link to this in the description below, so you guys can check it out as well. And more about the Patterson-Gimlin film. Exclusive early showings of Patterson-Gimlin Bigfoot footage revealed. This is a video from Todd Prescott and the Sasquatch Archives channel. If you're a Bigfoot enthusiast, you're likely familiar with the Patterson-Gimlin film, one of the most famous and controversial pieces of footage featuring an alleged Sasquatch. Recently, I came across a video on the Sasquatch Archives YouTube channel discussing the first showings of this iconic film. The video begins by addressing the significance of October 20th, the day Roger Patterson and Bob Gimlin claimed to have filmed a female Sasquatch in Northern California. The video then delves into the history of the film's first showings, which started just 2 days after its alleged capture. The first showing took place at Al Diatley's house, Patterson's brother-in-law, on October 22, 1967. Those in attendance included Al Diatley, Roger Patterson, John Green, I should say Renee Dahinden, not Dinden, and Jim McLaren. Interestingly, Bob Gimlin was not present, saying he was too exhausted from the Bluff Creek trip. The group watched the film several times, and it shows signs of wear and tear due to repeated viewings. Next showing was on October 26, 1967, at UBC, University of British Columbia, in Vancouver. It was organized by John Green, and the event aimed to gather scientific input on the footage. But the response was lukewarm, with one museum employee even declaring it a hoax. That was Frank Beebe. Press conference followed at the Hotel Georgia, now called the Rosewood Hotel Georgia, where Roger Patterson was interviewed. Now there was a very short clip of an interview with Roger Patterson shown during this video, during Todd's video. By the way, don't be put off by where it says video unavailable. You can watch it on YouTube. Just click on that. Just click on where it says watch on YouTube. It'll take you right to the YouTube channel. Actually, it'll take you right to the video. Now, these videos that I was discussing about the Patterson-Gimlin film, they were all released on October 20th, late the other day, Sunday. So, they were released, of course, on the 57th anniversary of the film, which is pretty good timing if you ask me. But of course, now, yes, I'm going to include all the links are going to be below for you guys to check out. Now here's something interesting, but it's not unprecedented. Idaho congressional candidate champions Bigfoot. Befitting what is already a very weird election season, an Idaho congressional candidate has made celebrating Bigfoot one of the centerpieces of his campaign. According to a local media report, the surprising Sasquatch support comes from Chandler Stewart Hadraba, who is challenging incumbent Sonia Galaviz for a seat in the state's House of Representatives. Along with standard issues one might expect to see on his platform, such as judicial reform and taxes, the candidate has included championing the famed cryptid as a possible boon to the state. I really want to make Idaho #1 for Bigfoot tourism, Hadraba declared, musing that this is a creative way to have our rural communities and remote areas benefit more from tourism in such a great state. Now, he apparently wants the cryptid, Bigfoot, to be recognized as a state animal of Idaho. Interesting. It would be cool, wouldn't it? Bigfoot being championed as the cryptid, as the state's official cryptid. I don't believe there are any states that actually have a cryptid, official cryptid. Now, Washington State may have an unofficial cryptid, that of course being Sasquatch, but not too many states have what they call official or unofficial cryptids. But this is not without precedent. I know that there was at least one congressman in Florida back in the 70s who tried to pass a law to protect the skunk ape. The law was defeated, but he really gave it his shot. He gave it his best shot. He wanted to have the skunk ape protected. Within, of course, the law. The balance of the law. But it was not to be. It would be kind of cool, though, to have Bigfoot be championed as the official cryptid of a state. Again, I think it's a bit unofficial in Washington State. So, all we can do is hope. And from the land of Lincoln, Illinois truck driver reports unsettling suspected Sasquatch sighting. An Illinois truck driver says that he was left unsettled after a recent incident wherein he drove past a sizable hair-covered bipedal creature that some believe to have been Bigfoot. According to a local media report, the suspected Sasquatch sighting occurred on the morning of October 5th as Gary Rutherford Jr. was cruising down the highway in Peoria County. A driver for a truck company contracted by the U.S. Postal Service, his normally routine route took a wondrous turn when he noticed something unusual ahead of him on the side of the road. I didn't process this thing until I was right up on it, he recalled. I did a double take. It was standing, 2 legs, brown fur. While the encounter was incredibly brief, Rutherford said there was a particularly chilling moment in which he and the creature looked at each other, and he noted the beast seemed to sport orange, yellowish, glowing eyes. Since the two were face to face and he was sitting high up in a 24-foot truck, the astounded driver estimated the thing had to be 8 feet tall. In true post office fashion, Rutherford commendably continued his route without stopping to get a further look at the curious creature. That said, the strange sighting stuck with him so much that he later went back to the spot to look for evidence of what he had witnessed, though there was nothing to be found. One thing we do know from sightings like this is that it's not unusual at all. It's not unusual at all for long-haul truckers to have sightings like this. Sometimes they have sightings of UFOs, from what I've heard. They have sightings of UFOs. They have sightings of Bigfoot. I mean, they're out there. These long-haul truckers. They're out there all the time on our roads. And if they're going through a remote area which happens to be forested, there's always a possibility they may see something that they don't expect. Or they're going through isolated areas. Not necessarily wooded, but isolated nonetheless, and see a UFO. So it's not really unusual that we would have this sort of sighting occur. Not unusual at all. Now here's something interesting. Dermal Ridge Examination Report, Georgia casting. Latent Fingerprint Examiner, Conroe Police Department, Conroe, Texas. Now this is Jimmy Chilcutt. On November 15, 1999, I received from Dr. Jeff Meldrum a plaster cast footprint The cast was made by Deputy James P. Aiken of the Pike County Sheriff's Office in Pike County, Georgia. Well, this says 1997, but it's actually 1994. But he didn't bring out the cast into the general public until 1997. Read his book, Elkins Creek, referring to James Aiken. I'm actually rereading the book right now. And here's a photo of the cast. Elkins Creek casting was examined over a period of several months, and I observed several areas on the cast where primate dermal ridges appeared. You can see right here what appeared to be dermal ridges on that cast. Plenty of photographs of these dermal ridges. Now, the footprint was actually found back in an isolated place on Elkins Creek near a farmer's homestead in Pike County, Georgia. An elderly couple had said they were being harassed by something during the night. Something that was tapping on the walls outside the house. And also just coming up to the window and breathing hard. They never did see it. They never actually ventured out to try and get a look at it. But they knew it was something there. They initially thought maybe it was just a prowler of some sort. But there were no vehicles that showed up. There were no tire tracks. So it's not like it was just a prowler. And who would walk in to that place just to mess around? No, I'm pretty sure this is a pretty credible cast. This is a pretty credible account. Like I said, read James Aiken's book, Elkins Creek. It's on Amazon. Shouldn't be that difficult to find a copy of it. Like I say, I'm rereading it right now. It's my second time reading it overall. As there's some pretty fascinating facts surrounding the case. I do highly recommend checking out the book and checking out this link as well. And finally, the Yakima Valley Bigfoot Con is making its return this weekend, October 26th. Featured guests will be Dr. Jeff Meldrum and Matt Moneymaker and an actress named Elaine Miles. Apparently there's going to be some kids activities as well. Things that kids can do at this event. Let's take a look at the website. Oh, and Bob Gimlin's going to be there too. Yeah, Bob Gimlin. I almost forgot he was going to be there. Also, Mel Scahan, Tish Paquette, and Barb Shoop. Now, Barb Shoop tends to be more on the woo side, you might say. And Tish Paquette apparently is a Bigfoot psychic medium. Well, that's woo as well. And I'm not trying to ridicule the woo. I mean, they have their place regardless of what we may think of them. Most woo people are actually pretty nice. They're not too bad. I can get along with the woo. I may disagree with them, but I can get along with them. But as I've said before, what do we actually know about Sasquatch? What facts, what concrete facts do we have about Sasquatch? Not too many. So, if the woo turns out to be right, hey, I'll champion it. I don't know if they're right or not. But it does seem unusual that we wouldn't have found any trace of these creatures by this time. We're talking about creatures that have survived for centuries. And none has been caught, no bones have been brought in, nothing. But then again, as Thomas Steenberg has pointed out, there's always the possibility that there are bones in some museum drawer somewhere of a Sasquatch that just haven't been properly cataloged. That's always a distinct possibility. Again, if the woo is right, I will champion them. And I'll say, hey, you guys were right. I was wrong. But until then, I'm going to stick with the flesh and blood. Until I'm proven wrong. And that's going to do it for this week. We want to thank you very much for tuning in. You guys are the heart of the show. I always say that, but I always mean it. And I'll continue as long as you do this as long as you guys want me to. And don't forget to check out my UFO Corner, my latest UFO Corner video about the Canadian UFO scene. Some sightings that apparently took place a few years ago, just 3 short years ago, back in 2021, up in Canada. So if you guys, I hope you guys will check that one out. It's on my channel, in case you're interested. So, until next week, y'all be good or be good at. This is HBM's Crypto Corner.